knowing the future, Blackdomites assumed success was inevitable after the trials and tragedy of desert homesteading, guaranteed by God's promise. In the borderlands, Blackdomites had faith in divine sovereignty that was sure to come. Blackdomites believed in the collective spiritual and daily toil. Ruth Skeen wrote to W.E. Du Bois in 1920.
I have greatly enjoyed the sample copies of The Crisis. And if you'll send me 2 or 3 copies of the Brownie book, the Brownies book is a literary magazine aimed at African American children, I will take them and with the samples of Crisis and visit a colored settlement near here and endeavor to secure subscriptions for your good magazine. There are not many colored people in this part of our state, although we have many Mexicans, and the race feeling against them is rather quite bitter. They are not allowed to enter a white barbershop, nor to eat in a white man's eating place. However, in the northern part of the state, they own a good deal of property and are well educated and hold positions of trust and honor. Our governor is a Spanish-American born in old Mexico. Of course, historically, the Spanish people have a perfect right here, and there are persons in the state possessing a fair attitude toward them. But they are only what English writer John Ruskin calls a little group of wise hearts in a wilderness of fools. Near here is a settlement of Negroes, a little town called Blackdom, consisting of farmers who have wrenched every bit of good out of our bitter soil. They are quiet, good citizens and molest nobody. They have had little chance for cultural things of life, and I believe they would welcome an opportunity to take your papers and magazines. Of course, they may already know about them. They have a little school and a church. At any rate, I'll be glad to go over there in my car and take them the books. I've lived among Negroes all my life, have had them in my home as helpers, and know them very well. But I had never, until going to California, lived where they were not segregated.
Thank you. Thus, according to Ruth Loomis Skeen, Blackdomites appeared in full expression of Afrotopia in 1920. Unbound by the geography of the New York-based Black Renaissance movement and her ethnic background, Ruth Skeen was a poet of Irish heritage who also went by the pen name Reba Kane. She lived in places from California to New York, and although she was a white woman, per her understanding, black folks maintained their souls and knew how to express themselves. In an apparent attempt to negrotize her name, as an author, in a 1929 issue of The Crisis magazine, located in New York on Fifth Avenue, she published Dark Lover. Cognizant of the time in which she existed, Skeen's minstrel expression of her soul in poems from a position on the black side of town highlights a slightly veiled black space difficult to experience on the other side of the proverbial veil. The two-ness was used for all who engaged in the practice.
One more time. That's pretty hilarious. It's my viral ticket to fame.
That motherfucker fine as fuck.
Yeah, fall back too close, you ain't even know me.